Okay, cue the awkward cut in the video. Or is this even an awkward cut in the video? As I mentioned in part 1, I'm recording this in 2 parts and actually on separate days because I just ran out of time to sit down and continue doing part 2 of this season simulation. So we're going to continue it right now. One thing I haven't done a great job of through the first half of the season simulation is show the standings. So we're going to go over to the standings right now. So this is the way the league looks at the All-Star break. It is January 26th in the game world. We are sitting in 3rd place in the division right now, but it's not a solid 3rd place because the Leafs 2 points behind, Detroit 5 points behind. We're certainly catchable. Tampa Bay still in it. Buffalo, I mean, everyone, even all the way down to Boston, is still in it, in the division, in the Atlantic. And then you've got the other side of the East in the Metropolitan Division where, you know, the wild card could come out of that side of the Eastern Conference. Here's the West, just so we have a picture of the way the West looks right now. The goal-scoring leader, it's Druin again. He's gonna win the Richard Trophy. I just know he's going to win the Richard Trophy. He may win. He's not up there in assists, but I mean, he looks like he's a certified Richard Trophy winner. He could win the Art Ross Trophy. Oh, here it is in points. So he's 3rd in points. So yeah, I mean, he's still in contention for an Art Ross Trophy as it stands right now. Wins. Who cares about wins? It's more save percentage and GAA. Well, at least Price's GAA is almost a 2 GAA. He's got a really good goals against, and his save percentage is right there. It's a 930. So Price is carrying this Habs team this season. So we should continue with the simulation. Hopefully, we know what we went through. We're still missing, before I sim, we're still missing Torrey Krug and Simon Hjalmarsson, but Hjalmarsson should be back in the lineup for the Nashville game. And I posed that as a question because I wasn't sure if I added him to the lineup, but there's your confirmation. He's back now. We've had Frazier and Werrick on the 4th line. You know, I'm going to keep him out for a game, and we'll see, because it's still a playable injury, and I don't want him to get re-injured, so we're just going to sit him for a couple of games until he's 100%. Sergei Nazarov is a 74 overall right wing. He's 23 years old. Is that Belarusian? He is a former second round pick by the Hurricanes, 60th overall. Not really a ton of potential there. Interesting that he was playing in the NHL and they sent him down on waivers, so they must be dealt with the injury bug as well if they're calling up a 74 overall. Shepard is a pass because, I mean, I don't need that player right now. No, now I can get Hjalmarsson back in the lineup, so we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so we put Hjalmarsson back in there. We sent Werrick back down to the A, and I have a scout assignment. So Werrick sent down, as I was stating, sent down successfully. He cleared waivers. We are 26-13-6 entering the game against Dallas. We will come out of that game with our 14th regulation loss on the season and a 4-2 failure against the Dallas Stars. I still haven't paid attention to if we've played the Jets, and I had a cup final rematch, something that I should have been paying more attention to just to see what the result would have been. But we can always take a look at the schedule at the end of the season from the whole 82 games. So we win against the Sharks, back on the right track. The main thing is to just stay above ground in that playoff chase. Make sure that we stay above everybody else, remain ideally a top 3 team in the division. That was an extra or overtime or shootout loss to the Coyotes that we suffered, and then we beat the Kings. The team is on a really good pace right now, and despite all the injuries that we've had, we're at a really good clip as a team. If we can continue on this type of a run as we lose 3-0 to the Oilers, if we can carry this kind of run through the end of February, I like our playoff. I mean, obviously, our playoff odds are going to go up even further. Now, we're not a lock to make the playoffs right now. We could go on a massive 10-game losing streak. It could happen. And then, boom, playoffs out of the picture for this team. Hopefully that doesn't happen. 6-4 win over the Sens gets it right. Patch ready. 3-day injury. Okay, at least it's a 3-day injury. That should be a playable one for Max Pacioretty. And I'm going to keep him in there if it is indeed a playable injury, at the risk of him getting further injured, because we need Pacioretty in the lineup, and I'm too lazy to make line changes for that matter against the Detroit Red Wings. 6-2 win. It looks like it is indeed a playable injury for Max Pacioretty. Krug will be back in slightly more than a week's time. Yeah, I should be checking the standings more often. We're still, we're not quite in the late stages of the season just yet. When we get into late February and into March, oh boy. Okay, well, it's only up to February 22nd, so that's actually not that bad. I don't even think I have a healthy extra skater. No, I'm going to have to call up, I've got to call up that guy, Werrick. Okay, so Pacioretty injured for a further, about an extra 5 days after he just came back off an injury. It says injury information is not available for Pacioretty, but we know from the game's diagnosis that it was only a few days. He was expected to return around February 22nd, so until we get beyond that date, I have called up Werrick from the AHL, and he's going to be playing on the first line for just a couple of games while Max Pacioretty is out. And, so now I have to send Werrick right back down. So Pacioretty is going to have to play through a playable injury, and honestly, Werrick, I gotta find him. Werrick has been more than serviceable while Pacioretty was out. We won those games, so now I gotta edit lines. Well, that was very smooth edit for line changes with Pacioretty coming back. It took me no time to fix the lines and get Max back in there. We're playing Chicago at home. We won, and oh my goodness, dude, really? There goes my second line center, Su-Kai Ming. He is done until May 10. I'm going to have to go and I'm going to have to make a trade deadline acquisition. What the hell do I do now? Okay, okay, this is going to be wild. We're going to move Eller. Okay, so Werrick is getting called up again. And this is fine with me because we can isn't Frazier a center? He is a 75 overall or 75 face-off rating. This is crazy. Su-Kai Ming is done until the playoffs, so that really screwed his season over. Can I look at Ming? Can I see his stats for the year since we're here? So here's Ming. He's an 85 overall, 24 years old now, already 24. Can you believe this? Look at all these seasons he's played by now. He had a 15-goal, 41-point season, so what? Maybe a 30-goal pace, 80-point pace. Close to that, slightly more, slightly less, give or take. He has not scored 30 in his career yet, but remember, last year he got injured a couple of times, and he missed a chunk of the season, and he played 60 games and had 27 goals, 53 points in 60 games. Yeah, he's just a player that continues to get screwed over by the game. But anyway, I have got to call up Werrick. I gotta find him. Werrick, you're gonna be playing. I know I can call you up and send you right back down. So you're gonna be playing maybe on the fourth line center. I'm gonna keep this in the video just so we can see what my changes are. Yes, I think Werrick needs to play the wing and Frazier needs to play center. So it was Monahan on fourth line center duties. But we're gonna this is the beauty in having Lars Eller. Even though he was on my third line, and I've said it so many times, he is 30 years old and making $5 million. But this is why you have the safety net, if you will, in Lars Eller. So you lose your second line center in Su-Kai Ming. You can just slide Eller right up. Monahan, I hope you're ready to play third line minutes in the NHL because you're going to be getting it. Now, I have gotta seriously consider maybe a true fourth line center at the trade deadline. And yeah, that's thrown my power play. Everything has been thrown off. So we'll be right back. Okay, the beginning of the simulation without Su-Kai Ming as our second line center. It's going to be Werrick for a while playing fourth line center duties, but the closer we get to the deadline, we are fast approaching the deadline. And I'm gonna, best lines there, I'm gonna have to consider trading for just maybe an old, close to retirement, true fourth line set. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We lost Tamernis and we lost Werrick. But Krug is back. This is all over the place, man. This is freaking wild. All right, so I gotta call up another forward. So for the fourth line, we'll call up Kohlberg. Kohlberg is getting called up. So let's try this. Man, this game is screwing me over this year with the injuries this season. I freaking hate the simulation so much sometimes. So Kohlberg, you get in there because Werik got injured. Kohlberg is a wing, and he has 64 faceoffs. Hjalmarsson's a wing, right? Yeah, but his faceoff rating is better than the center. Frazier's faceoff rating is okay. It's 75. Never mind. So we're going to go Frazier, Kohlberg on the wing. And I'm missing a defenseman, but didn't Torrey Krug come back from injury? Yes, he did. And I got plenty of defensemen on standby anyway. But yeah, that's going to be your D pair now. So Tamernis is gone with an injury. We don't know how long. And of course, it's going to throw off the frickin' all the other lines. Okay. Man, the injuries have screwed me over so much in this simulation. 8 days on Tamernis, so it's not as bad, I guess, as it could be. Werik is out with an undetermined amount of for an undetermined amount of time, but I'm going to make a trade deadline move. I think I am. I think I have to seriously consider a move at the deadline. And at least, I mean, the Ming injury, unfortunate as it is, and there's Werik, but you know what, let's just continue for now. I don't need anyone else getting further injured, so Werik is not back fully healthy for another day. And then we're at the deadline. Yeah, the trade deadline is that day against Chicago. We're going to run right up to the deadline. I'm going to put Werik back in the lineup and send... Who did I call up? Kohlberg. I'm going to send Kohlberg down. Did he score? If he scored in the game, he's going to stay in the lineup. No, 2 games played. He hasn't scored yet. He's going right back down. So we're going to sim past the Avalanche game. Tamernis is he's 3 days out, so he'll be back after the deadline. My main focus is let's go get let me do the scout assignment. And now it says Tamernis, but we're going to wait on him. He needs to not play through a playable injury. But my main focus is let's go get a 4th line, I guess center, at the deadline. Whoever is selling off. The trade deadline, yeah, I know about the trade block. I'm not worried about the trade block. So if I sim up here, if I go simulate up to this day, it's going to ask me if I want to make any last-minute acquisitions. And Budai was injured down there in the A with back spasms, whatever. Screw your back spasms. Okay, proposed trade. I don't know how many phones I have because I didn't look at it, but now I'm going to break away for a second. I got $1 million in cap space. That's unbelievable. But I'm going to try to get a depth center. Let's see what we can find on the trading blocks. Okay, I've got the proposal that I want with the Florida Panthers. I'm going to give them, this is a lot of value, but I'm going to give them this year's 1st round pick. Because, I mean, we're anticipating that we're going to make the playoffs, right? We see ourselves as a playoff team, maybe a deep run. This year's 1st is not going to be worth that much. Now, it's got some value to it right now. It doesn't have a ton of value, but it has decent value. Stoll's value is on the right side of the screen for you there. Obviously, you can see that this would be a way lopsided trade in favor of the Florida Panthers if we took on a 37-year-old Jarrett Stoll who still has 2 years left, and there's no retained salary. I guess I could get Florida to retain some salary on that. I think instead of trying to get Begris, but let's just try to get Begris. We would have barely any cap space to make this work, but it would go through. But we can also get defenseman prospect Chris Begris, 25 years old, probably, who knows what he could be, but I want to get at least some value back. He was drafted by the Avalanche. He's on a minor league deal for 2 more years and still playing in the minors. 76 overall, and all of his attributes. Any NHL games played? Not yet, but I mean, he's got 9 goals in 55 games in the A. Not too bad. I mean, I want to at least get some kind of value back for my 1st round pick that I'm going to send the other way to the Florida Panthers. So do the Panthers like the idea of this deal? And they do. So they don't see this to be lopsided one way or the other. Both sides are satisfied. We have acquired our 4th line center in Stoll. Honestly, man, Stoll is like the perfect... Right now, still the perfect 4th line center for this team for the rest of the year. And I know that contract, it expires in 2 seasons technically, but I think he's going to retire at the end of the season. He's played over 1,000 games in the NHL, a long time member of the LA Kings. We know him there. He was with Florida. So we'll have to take a look at where Florida is in the standings. But they wanted to sell off Stoll. And again, did I show up the points to this point in the season for Stoll? All the stats. He has 23 points, 13 goals, 61 games. I just need you to play on my fourth line, basically, because what we've done with our lineup is we moved these two guys, Eller and Monahan, up with the absence of Su Kai-Ming. So Stoll just gives us even more depth. It's the first time I've traded for a true veteran. Well, not true. I did trade for Hemsky that one time at the deadline, and we missed the playoffs. But we're making a deal at the deadline, literally on deadline day, for Jarrett Stoll to fill out our depth until we get healthy and Su Kai-Ming back. And there you go. We placed a couple guys down on waivers, but they cleared waivers easily. Bigris, who we acquired in the trade. Jarrett Stoll and Bigris from Florida for a first-round pick. Any other trades going on here at the deadline? These are waivers. These are waiver moves. There's a move. Detroit gets a first, someone Bo, and a second-round pick from Vancouver to give Vancouver Brendan Smith and Devin Setaguchi. Stu Lysak. Okay. These are just basic transactions. I should be filtering this by trades, actually. There you go. Player pick and trading. So there was a trade that went down between Columbus and Ottawa, getting Patrick Eaves. And that's it. So not a whole lot of trades going on this season, but deadline day is not over yet. Oh, here we go. San Jose gets Brandon Saad from the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for Matt Fratton. So that's a 1-for-1 deal. Another, never mind. That's Clendening getting called up by San Jose. Continue. And there you go. And we're facing the Chicago Blackhawks just like that. I wanted to see where Florida is. Oh, look at that. Florida is in contention. Same level of points that we have. That's going to be an interesting... What if we meet in the playoffs and we get Stoll from the Panthers? I don't even know. It said he had like 60-some games played. There's Florida right there. We're on the gauntlet run to the end of the season, which will finish at home against the Ottawa Senators. And we will resume the simulation. And look at that. We got Winnipeg coming up as well after we play the Blackhawks, which we lost 6-5. First game with Jarrett Stoll in the lineup at fourth line center. How about Duchesne? 24 goals at the deadline. Not too shabby of a season for Duchesne, who is telling me he's not going to fall off anytime soon. Back-to-back losses, giving up 6 goals. 6-2 loss to the Winnipeg Jets in the Stanley Cup final rematch on Winnipeg ice. I'll have to take a look at the schedule, the calendar, and see who won the first game between these two teams, because we've already played Winnipeg at home earlier in the season. This is not working out. Man, Stoll on the fourth line not working out. 5-0 drubbing to the St. Louis Blues. Can we get a victory? And it's against our arch nemesis, the Boston Bruins. There it is, 4-1 win. So because we won, I'm going to keep rolling on with it. But now I'm going to assume the standings have shifted quite a bit. You can never relax, even this late in the season especially. You cannot relax. We're midway through March. Dale Weiss. Dale Weiss was playing on, I think, my third line. It's going to be like a week-long injury. So I'm going to have to call a player up. And the travel miles on Ethan Warwick back up in the NHL again due to injury. So now that we're missing Dale Weiss, updated look at the standings. Okay, we're clear of Buffalo by a decent amount. So Buffalo must have just dropped the ball somewhere. These are massive games. We're playing Ottawa. Massive game against Ottawa coming up. Gotta win that game. Gotta get it on the right track. Get the train right back on the tracks. I'm not worried about Peter Budai's injury. I don't even know who was playing goaltender down there. I hope the game signed somebody, or we don't need a backup. Screw it. We don't need a backup goaltender. Senators, huge game. Massive head-to-head. I think we won that one. Fistrick is on waivers. I'm not going to claim it because we got so many D. And I have guys sitting in the press box, but 79 overall with okay stats. It's kind of tempting. It really is, but it's a no. I hope we didn't lose a defenseman to injury. I've got 2 guys at D at this moment sitting in the press box. They are healthy scratches on standby for injuries. And Dale Weiss is back, so that means Warwick has to go back down. Did we lose in regulation to Philadelphia? How do I find that? Scores. Well, here's the standings now. 82 points. Is that where we were standing before? We lost in regulation to Philadelphia. Didn't we win? We beat Ottawa, though. We won over Ottawa, so that's crucial. Clutch victories down the stretch. Oh, by the way, Carey Price did not get us that victory over Ottawa because he's been stuck at 30 wins for a while. He's had 30 wins since I don't even know how long he's had 30 wins for. We're not picking up the slack as a team. There's a win 4-3, and it's a win for Carey Price. That'll give us another 2 points in the standings. We'll take a look at it in a second. I am so curious to look at the overall player stats at the season's end and see who did what. I mean, clearly Duchesne, 26 goals, could nudge into 30-goal territory. He just needs 4 to get there. The points leaders right now, Sagan, Drouin, Skinner. It is a face-off for the Art Ross Trophy at the moment. It's not even close for the Richard Trophy. Drouin just scores, man. He's going to have a 50-goal season. McDavid at 31, he's appearing now in the conversation with everybody else. He should be with that growth potential that McDavid has when I edited his player for this GM mode. The Sabres are catching up a little bit. So is Toronto. There's the West. And I don't care about the scoring summary. So right now, how many games are left? We got so there's a slate of games for us. What is that? That's 4 games. Is it 4 games left? 5? It's more than that. It's 8. Oh, it's a lot of games. There's a lot of points on the table for us to both lose and win. So we got to get some points here. So we're not going to focus on the end of the season. I mean, we're at the tail end of March. There's like basically a whole month left in the schedule. And 7 weeks until Su Kai-Ming is back. Can't pay too much close attention to the standings at this moment in time because we're not even close to the finish line on the season. I'm sending my scout out, but I sent that draft pick to the Florida Panthers. And, I'm assuming that we're going to be a playoff team. I sent that pick to the Panthers with the assumption that the team would qualify for the playoffs. So now I need you guys to actually go out there and do it so that pick is not worth as much to the Florida Panthers as it would be otherwise. And hopefully I'm sending my scout out for not really much of any reason. It's not like the prospect pool generated by the game is that great at this point anyway, and that's what I didn't need. And that's where the trade for Stoll really comes in handy. Monahan, my third-line center, is done basically until the end of the regular season, April 15th. So that's right at the legit end of the regular season, and this is why you trade for Jarrett Stoll. I feel like a genius right now. Welcome back to the big club, Ethan Warwick. I got to get him make sure he's dressed. I don't have to actually physically dress him myself, but I have to dress him, put him into the lineup. Frazier is my fourth-line center. Again, yeah, Frazier needs to be fourth-line center with Warwick. Okay, so we beat Philadelphia. We got a couple of wins in the bag there. We're missing Monahan for slightly less than a month. It's like a 3-week-long injury. After this Columbus game, we'll zip ahead and see exactly what's happening around April 15. That's when he is projected to return from his injury. April 15, the end of the regular season. So that would be like right in time for game 1 of the playoffs. And Ming will not be available for that either. Su Kai-Ming is going to be out until May. So he's going to miss all of round 1. That's brutal for us. I really need Monahan to get back healthy for the playoffs. I need him. And I need everybody else needs to stay healthy as well. No more injuries, please. To the end of the regular season, we're running down an Eastern Conference gauntlet. Starting with the Islanders, then we'll get Devils, Panthers, Red Wings. Most of these games at home. Kyle Locke, that's a skip for me. We win 2-0 over the Islanders. Yeah, we'll take a look at the standings, sure. It's really important, man. We're close to being one of the top teams in the top team in the division. No one's catching the Islanders, it looks like, for the President's Trophy. Ooh, look at that, between LA and the Islanders right now for the President's Trophy. Yes, St. Louis is in it. Phoenix is in it for the President's Trophy. Ottawa is still a decent shout for the President's Trophy as it stands right now. Yeah, I should be doing a better job showing the standings during these simulations, but honestly, I'm just trying to run right through it as fast as I can. I just want to run roughshod through the simulation, find out if there's going to be playoff games or not. That's my biggest interest. But watch the game. It's going to hand me a Matt Duchesne injury. It's a Torrey Krug injury. I can deal with the Torrey Krug injury. That's not the worst thing in the world. Well, I mean, Krug goes down with how long did it say? April 9th? He goes down to the late part of the regular season. But Tamernes is sitting, waiting to be plugged back into the lineup after he got injured. It's just been a cursed season on injuries, and the team has still prevailed, looking more than certain to make the playoffs, I guess. Krug is now available. Well, he's going to sit. I don't want him getting injured. We're waiting until he is 100%. I'm not taking any chances with any of my players that are injured until we get to the playoffs. Then, oh boy, and Werik has been injured and he's my call up. You got to be freaking kidding me, game. Oh, this game sucks so much. I'm just going to put a defenseman in there. I really am. Krug is injured. I'm not calling anyone up. I'm just going to legit plug Weston on my fourth line. There you go. Weston, you're playing fourth line. Learn how to play D. Monahan, nope, you're not playing yet. Look at the injuries. It's dicked me over at times with the injuries this year. I mean, Krug still waiting 2 days, 1 day, and then he's fully healthy. Monahan still 6 days out from being fully healthy. We're going to go past the Florida Panthers game, see how we play. We got a defenseman on my fourth line at the moment, playing fourth line right wing, and we win 3-0. I'm going to laugh my ass off if he scored a goal. My defenseman scored a goal there. So Krug is fully healthy now. And you know what? I'm going to sit Krug for this Red Wings game, and maybe we get him back in there. So Werik is back. Krug is back healthy. I put him on the fourth line, right wing. I had to send Werik down because of roster space. I reached the roster limit, and I'm playing Krug on my fourth line, right wing, and we win 4-2. I mean, is that the key play? Well, here you go. We're at the last game of the regular season, and we're a playoff team. Well, 100 points. We passed Ottawa. This is a big game against Ottawa to determine if we can win the Atlantic Division. If we win this game or we lose, we cannot lose this game. We can lose in overtime. The maximum that Ottawa can do is score, unless Ottawa has an extra game in hand. Ottawa cannot surpass 100 points on the season. If this is indeed game 82 out of 82 for the Senators, oh, their record is up at the top right-hand part of the screen. Yes, this is game 82 out of 82 for both of these teams. So the Senators cannot surpass 100 points. If we lose this game to Ottawa, it has to be an overtime or a shootout. We would get a point for it, and even if they win, they would end up with 100 points. So we have got to try to win this game. This is the West. Wow, my goodness. Phoenix and St. Louis duking it out for the President's Trophy. And I mean, the Islanders are in there. Someone's going to win the President's Trophy. And it's just a matter of who we're playing. Yeah, just sim ahead. Just sim the day ahead. No injuries, please. It's just a question of who are we playing in round one of the Stanley Cup playoffs. There will be playoff episodes, and Duchesne has hit that 32 goal mark. And that'll be the next thing we'll look at. We'll look at playoff tree, stats, scouting assignment. No injuries. We beat the Ottawa Senators, so we take the top spot in the division. So we're division winners, not President's Trophy winners. I don't think we've won a President's Trophy in the GM mode, but they're mad because I didn't get 50 wins, but we made the playoffs. What are you whining about? I literally lost my second line center to injury to the season's end. He's not even going to be available in this series against the Buffalo Sabres. There's so much to look at. Let's begin. I'm a little overwhelmed here. Let's begin with the playoff tree. So we are taking on the Buffalo Sabres for the third time, I think, in the GM mode. We have seen Buffalo a couple of times, I think, in this playoffs. It'll be the Sabres. I think we get the winner of Ottawa and Florida. Montreal and Ottawa would be a spicy second round. Look at that. On the west side of the bracket, Winnipeg Jets back in the playoffs again. Look at this. Carolina and Phoenix both in the playoffs again. So we could have some potential Stanley Cup final rematches in here. Who have we taken out in the Stanley Cup final? San Jose, they're not in here. And we beat the Avalanche. They didn't qualify for the playoffs either. So this is the way the playoff tree looks going into the Season 7 postseason. Wow, I can't believe there's going to be playoff games. Gotta get the good old team standings. So this is the way the league finished. The President's Trophy winners were the Phoenix Coyotes. Bummer for St. Louis. They just missed that 1-2 points that they needed. Even if they finished with 111 points with the 52 wins, they would have had the tiebreaker over the Coyotes. They finished with a very similar point percentage to the Coyotes, obviously just 1 point shy of Phoenix. Then it was Islanders, Los Angeles, Montreal, Nashville, Ottawa, Winnipeg. All the way down the list we go. Just want to get it all in the video so you can see all the teams that qualified and all of the teams that missed So we'll sort this now by the Western Conference. So the last team in the West was the Minnesota Wild. So the Minnesota Wild, last team into the playoffs in the West with 91 points. The last team in the East to get in was the Philadelphia Flyers, while they get in 1 point ahead of the Boston Bruins. And so all the teams that miss in Season 7, Columbus misses, Pittsburgh, Washington, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Detroit, New Jersey, Boston, all missed the postseason. And I didn't show this for the West, but the teams that missed, I mean, I showed it on the screen, but I haven't said it out loud. Chicago looking for that lottery pick, much like the real world. Today, anyway, Chicago, San Jose, Anaheim, man, the games got that right. Colorado, Dallas, and Edmonton all miss the playoffs. Vancouver got in. They've got Connor McDavid. Boy, would I love to go up against Vancouver and McDavid in the Stanley Cup final. I guess be careful what you wish for. The divisions as well, Pacific, Central, Atlantic, your Atlantic Division winners, the Montreal Canadiens. I think this is the first time we've won the division in the GM mode. But Metropolitan Division winners, and then it's back to the entire league. I am curious on goals for. How did we do? We were the 8th best team on goals for. I didn't look at any of this stuff during the season simulation. I never paused to look at any of this stuff. Goals for per game, that was of course 8th. Goals against, I'll sort it, but we had a good goals against. I knew that because Carey Price was putting up really good numbers. Goals against per game, 8th best team in the league in goals against per game. The best power play in the league. We did not have the best power play in the league, but the best power play in the league would go to, I'm curious who had the best one. It would be Phoenix. No wonder. And Boston is right there with them in Minnesota. No wonder they won the President's Trophy with a good power play like that. Almost 20% on the power play. The PK, yeah, we were not very good on special teams this year. We were just kind of average to below average special teams. The best PK in the league. Phoenix? Yeah, Phoenix. Best power play and best penalty kill. Oh my God. Look out for them. They're going to go on a run. I just can feel it. They're going to go on a big playoff run again. They just got this magic on their team where they can make these deep playoff runs every year. The Phoenix Coyotes. And they got Patrick Kane now as well. And the player stats. Man, this is so much to go through at the end of a long recording session. But the Montreal Canadiens first, sorted by forwards. Duchesne. I would have liked to have seen more point production out of these guys. But remember, this is how NHL 14 is. Point scoring and goal scoring is on the low side for some reason, even for the best players in the game. But Duchesne, how does that compare to previous seasons for him? His previous regular season totals. He played all 82 games. He hit 33 goals. So if he's hit 30, I think Duchesne has hit 30 before in his career. But in these 4 seasons listed here, is the first time he's done it in the previous 4 seasons at least that he's hit 30 goals. He had 61 points, so a little bit down on points from his total best points of these 4 seasons, but up from last year, if that makes sense. I worded that really poorly, but 12 power play goals, so he was a menace on the power play. Max Pacioretty next up, 60 points in 80 games played, 23 goals scored, so he only missed 2 games due to injury. We remember that. I think it was like a concussion or something that he had. And his point totals really very close to what he did last year, just a season ago. I mean, a model of consistency here. 38 goals was really impressive there in 17-18. I'll also just show the playoff stats, but I'm taking control of the team for the playoffs, so I'm not really worried about that. LeBlanc, he had 18 goals this season, down 2 goals from last year, 56 points. So similar production in a similar amount of games, but a plus 29. That's the key part for him, a plus 29 on that plus-minus score. Brad Marchand, who I was considering, should I move on from, but we brought him back. He has 3 years left on his deal, and he scored 23 goals, 51 points, so similar numbers. So these guys are producing very similarly to what they did last year. So the production isn't really down for much of my top 6. Polkinen played in my top 6 this year, 50 goals, 25 points, 25 goals, 50 points, 25 goals. I just got to rack my brain for energy now. Polkinen was my free agent signing to a 3-year, multi-year contract to basically replace Brendan Gallagher, if you want to look at it that way. I got to look at what Gallagher did with Detroit as well, and I think they missed the playoffs. Su Kai Ming, all that time missed due to injury. 53 games played, 41 points, 15 goals. Obviously, that's going to be down from, he played 60 the previous season, but that's obviously going to be down a bit. But even for him, that's interesting numbers even for him. Kamayev, who I drafted in the Season 1 draft and only realized that a couple nights ago that I actually drafted Kamayev. He had a 38.14 goal year. So again, similar numbers. Nice to see that the consistency is there from season to season for these guys. Same thing for Eller. He scored 1 more goal and 2 less points than he did a season ago. Jarrett Stoll, who agreed to join our team, was acquired at the deadline for our team just to shore up the depth. There's his season-ending totals. Jalmerson, a season ago, what did he do? 19 points, so similar trajectory. He played 75 games compared to 49, though, and scored 2 goals and 19 points. So a bit of a disappointment there, but he's a fourth-line player. Sean Monahan, first season with the Montreal Canadiens. I almost said Calgary Flames, but that's where we got Monahan from on waivers. He plays 73 games, scores 10 goals, 19 points, basically spending the chunk of that time. Was he on the third line for much of the season? But bottom 6 minutes, basically. Playing in the bottom 6, and not a whole lot of special teams time as well for Sean Monahan. Dale Weiss, only 31 years old. I thought he was older than that for some reason, but 80 games played, 18 points, 10 goals, third line player for me this year. Colin Fraser, fourth line wing and center for me throughout the season. 5 goals, 10 points. That's about as much as you can ask from a 35-year-old on a 1-year deal. 1-year deal, playing in the bottom 6 on the fourth line specifically, and a grinder. 5 goals, not bad for a grinder on my fourth line. Ethan Warwick, man, this guy racked up the travel minutes this year. He was back and forth between the A and the NHL. He played 23 NHL games and scored 2 goals, 3 points, playing on the fourth line. Kujawenski got in there? When did Kujawenski play a game? He played 1 game. I didn't even know that. Ryan Kujawenski, I've said this so many times, but he was a beast for me in that GM mode that I did with the Canadiens, but then about a decade ago, more than a decade ago now. And I didn't record it or upload it anywhere. It was just a GM mode that I did in my free time. Kolborg, who I pronounced Kolborg for some reason, and he played 2 games, didn't really do anything, and that's it. So that's all the forwards. Now the defenseman scoring, Tamernis missed time with injury this year, 63 games played, and I think he came back healthy, and I didn't realize he was healthy, and he was just a healthy scratch. So he also missed some time due to that. 41 points. Let me pull it up here. 41 points, 63 games played. Man, I'm telling you, I'm just trying to fly through this. I really am. 8 goals and 41 points. Subban, how does that compare to last season? 33 points, 7 goals, so a bit down for Subban. But, I mean, Subban's a defenseman. The key part for me, look at this, plus 17. The best plus-minus of the last 4 seasons in the regular season. Hedman, what did he do? 33 points, 9 goals. Yeah, so these guys, Hedman, my first pair, tailed off offensively in terms of their production from a season ago, but their plus-minus was pretty good, so they at least kept the puck out of the back of the net for the most part this season, or at least that's what I would take away from that. Torrey Krug, still on the team. I don't know how much time he's got left on that deal. 1 year, so he's going to be a UFA in the summer, and he is how old? 29 years old. We got decisions to make on Krug. Do we bring him back? Because I forgot, what am I paying him? 3.8. Maybe we find a slightly cheaper defenseman that's a similar overall rating for less money to play on my second, third pair. I don't know. We'll figure it out in the offseason. But for now, he is a HAB, and he was on that playoff run last year when we won the Cup. In fact, I believe he scored the game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup Final, Game 7. I believe he scored the game-winning goal in Game 7. Damon Severson, first year on the team for Damon Severson, a waiver claim off the New Jersey Devils during the Season 6 simulation, finishes with 66 games played. He doubled up on his goal totals from a season ago and doubled up on the games played as well. Basically, he doubled everything. Games played, goals scored, assists. He more than doubled the assists, and he doubled up his points for sure. He more than doubled up his points. Chris Butler, 33-year-old defenseman, probably on the last year of that contract, I'm hoping. Yes, so we can let Butler go in the offseason if we need to. Dumoulin, get his stats in the video just so we see it. 52 games played, 5 points for Dumo, and he will be a UFA. Could be a decent depth option. I mean, he's making minor league money. It's an easy decision to re-sign him if we choose to do so. 30-year-old Jens Weston on a 1-year deal as well. And I've kept him around as a depth option, but he's mostly been playing in the AHL and he sat in the press box all season, by the way, for the most part, aside from those 10 games he played. Morgan Ellis, 7 games played, 2 points, 2 assists. And you can see he's basically bounced around between the A and the NHL as a healthy depth option. Then Holzer got in. Corbinian, awesome first name. He played with the Winnipeg Jets in the Stanley Cup final. We faced off against him, and now he's on the other side. He played 2 games for the Habs. He is a depth option as well down in the minors. How many years left on that deal? 1 year left. I forgot how I got Holzer. I think they sent him down on waivers, and I just said, screw it. Look how many defensemen played for my team this season. Holy crap. So the goaltending. Pavlich played 19 games. And Price played 68, so I figured Price would play about that much. Still, Pavlich getting into 19 games played is impressive. 37 win, 23 loss, 3 OT loss, 5 shootout loss season for Price. 91.94. That's a pretty good save percentage. I mean, I think Price, he could do better despite playing 68 games played. I think his save percentage for how good he is could be better, but you can't ask for much more. 92 save percentage. He carried the team throughout this whole season because look at did I skip it? Where's the GAA? Oh yeah, there's the GAA. It's at the very front. I'm an idiot. Okay, so 2.42. That's not too bad of a GAA playing 68 games. And Pavlich did his job as the backup goaltender. He had a 93.3 save percentage and a 206 GAA in 19 games played. Did we sign Pavlich to it's just a 1-year deal? I might just bring him back. He is just 32 years old. Hell yeah. Come back one more season, be Price's backup, part of an elite tandem. Maybe we can rely on this guy in the playoffs should Price have a stinker. Price is due to have a few stinkers in the postseason. He probably will again. But compared to last year, he played 1 less game, Carey Price that is, 1 less game, 1 more win than last season. And his save percent, his GAA went up, actually. His GAA actually got worse. His save percentage also got worse. So that's what I mean. Price can hang around the 930s in save percentage. So a bit of a down year even for Price. And he was still a beast. Oh, I was going to say there was no question about it. Well, there's no question about the Richard Trophy. But Tyler Seguin, T-Segs with the Bruins, takes the Art Ross Trophy home. Didn't he win an Art Ross Trophy in the real world? I think he did. So what did he do this year that he didn't do last season? 94 points and 39 goals, but look at that, the games played. But even then, he played a full 82 here, and he scored 72 points, 27 goals, 26 goals, 71 points. So he had a hell of a season. Almost a 100-point season in the season simulation is very impressive for this game. It doesn't happen often. And he was 6 points shy. He was 1 goal shy of 40. He played 1 less game than a full season's length. So had he played 82 games, could he have gotten to 40 goals? Who knows? So I thought Drouin was going to win the Art Ross Trophy because he has taken the Art Ross Trophy home with him a lot in this GM mode. But, he destroys the competition when it comes to scoring goals. 77 games played. He didn't even play a full 82, and he had 52 goals, 89 points. Just didn't quite have enough to take home that Art Ross Trophy, but I don't think he'll be crying about it. He hits the 50-plus goal mark, and this is what I wanted to look at. That's right. So look at his stats. This guy almost is playing on maxed out stats. Look at the shooting category. It's 99s across the board. His puck skills are almost 99s across the board. He has a 99 offensive awareness. This guy is just an offensive gem, and he's just 25 years old with the Lightning here. He's got 1 year left on that. Oh my God. Is there any way that Drouin reaches free agency? $8.1 million. You got to pay him more than that, Tampa Bay. He's worth a lot more than that. Might be the best freaking player in the game. And I think McDavid is rated higher than Drouin is, but Drouin is just, he's scoring at a ridiculous clip in these season simulations. So now my question is, let's sort this by goals scored. How many did McDavid score? McDavid in 69 games played had 36 goals and 77 points. Not a shabby season. So this is what I wanted to say. McDavid has that 5 green star potential at 23 years old. He's not done growing, and McDavid is 99s across the board in the shooting and puck skills category. and he's a 99 offensive awareness. So yes, I edited McDavid and I kind of jacked up a bunch of stats for McDavid, specifically the offensive ones, because he needs to be a beast. He's a 94 overall in the game. I would love to have he's at the end of his contract. I would love to have an opportunity to add Connor McDavid to this team. I would legitimately love to offer sheet the hell out of McDavid, but I don't even think we own the compensation to even send a proper offer sheet to Connor McDavid in the offseason. But his stats are just ridiculous. And I tried to be chill when I edited his stats. This is just how quickly he has grown and how much he has grown in the couple of seasons that we've been simulating. So he's played in 3 different NHL seasons in the game so far. And his best year, he had 88 points. Point-wise, he had 88, but he played 69 games this year. What could he have done had he played all 82 games for the Vancouver Canucks? They're in the playoffs. They're going to be a team to watch out for. And Duchesne's not far down the list here with 61 points, 33 goals scored. He wasn't much further down the list than Connor McDavid. How about Lupul? Where is Lupul playing these days? He's still in Toronto, and he's 36 years old. He has 2 years left on a $5.555 million deal. I don't know why they went with that specific number. I thought it would be fun. Oh, wait a minute. Toronto's not in the playoffs, so I won't be cursed by the demon that is Joffrey Lupul in the playoffs this year. I don't even think... Did we... So let me get this straight. In the playoffs that we just did for the Season 6 postseason, and we faced the Leafs, right? I don't think Lupul was available for that series, if I remember correctly. He was injured for that one, so I don't even think we had to deal with Lupul anyway. Let's go to defensemen and see who the best scoring defenseman was in the league. Would you say it was Drew Doughty based on points, or would you go based on goals? Because, 18 goals is a very impressive year for a defenseman. Sami Vatanen with the Boston Bruins, and I believe they're in the playoffs as well. So they got Sagan producing on the forward side of things. They got Vatanen on the blue line. Chad Ruhwedel with the Sabres gets 17 goals, but he didn't get that point total that Vatanen did. So I would say that the Norris Trophy is probably going to Sami Vatanen. How old is Shea Weber at this point? He's 34 years old, 7 years left on that deal with the Nashville Predators at almost $8 million or whatever it was he was making there. And the best goaltender, Mike Smith, at it again. I always sort it by save percentage, so you see who has the best save percentages in the league and who played the most games. So it probably is going to be Mike Smith's year to win the Vezina Trophy. We will see the awards when we finish the playoffs, when we conclude the playoffs, however long that goes. Terrence Ludwig with the Philadelphia Flyers has a 93 save percentage playing in 70 games. So he had 70 games he appeared in, 2.29 GAA. But look at Mike Smith's GAA. This was an incredible year for Mike Smith. He almost, in 52 games played, he almost consistently put up a 95 save percentage. What did he do last season? He's 38 years old, so he has yet to retire. This could be his last run at it. It really could be. He is a Stanley Cup champion in this GM mode with the Coyotes. His save percentage his GAA got even better in his save percentage. How do you outdo a 945 save percentage in your career for a whole season? That is just an unbelievable year. What about the playoffs? What did he do last year in the playoffs? How did Carolina get to this Phoenix team? 928 save percentage. He had a 951 the year before that in 21 games played. No wonder they won the Stanley Cup that year. 951 save percentage in the postseason. So trust me when I say I'm burned out, man. I'm burned out doing this recording session, looking at stats, everything. We obviously are going to preview the Buffalo Sabres ahead of Game 1, Round 1, and we'll get it going all over again. Another big playoff run. Keep in mind, this is the last thing I'm going to show before we shut the recording down, the injury report. So we're missing one guy right now. Su Kai Ming is out with post-concussion syndrome, and he will not be returning until May 10. I'd say at the earliest. That is May 10. Is that even the second round? If we go forward, here's the end of the first round. Oh man, he wouldn't even be back for the second round. So Su Kai Ming is going to be missing some serious time. We're going to have to get it done with our depth, and the acquisition of Jarrett Stoll could come very in handy for this postseason run that we want to go on. We'll see you in the next episode. against the Buffalo Sabres, round 1, game 1.